Hi, I'm Dr. Mark Rosenberg, and today I'm going to talk to you about sciatica. The sciatic nerve is the nerve that exits between L5 and sacrum. Your lowest lumbar vertebra is called L5. There's 5 of them: L5, L4, L3, L2, L1. The lowest one has the sciatic nerve, which exits and comes out in between and in this little groove here in the sacrum and runs down the back of your leg. It's the largest nerve in your body. It's roughly the size of your pinky. 2/3 of the nerve are sensory or pain fibers, and 1/3 are motor fibers. Now, the motor fibers tell the muscles to contract. So when you're running, when you push your leg behind you, the L5 nerve actually contracts the hamstring, the gluteal, the calf muscle, which is why when the nerve gets pinched or irritated, when the sensory portion starts to hurt, you feel pain in those areas. The gluteal muscles, the hamstring, behind the knee, the calf, all the way up to the bottom of the foot, by the way. Okay, that being said, there are a few things you should do and shouldn't do when you get sciatica, or if you get sciatica. I hope you never get sciatica, because it's like a toothache in the nerve. It's probably one of the toughest pains that you could experience, and the reason is that no matter how much you weigh, all of your trunk weight sits right on your lower back, right here on top of the sacrum. So if this is misaligned, okay, it's going to hurt. Now, there are 3 ways you can get sciatica. Well, there's physical stress, there's emotional stress, but we're not going to go there right this second. The sacrum could be tilted up into the nerve. L5 can be tilted down or rotated into the nerve. There could also be a disc issue in between each of these vertebrae. This is just a learning tool. There's a soft gelatinous disc, and if fibers are torn, you could actually have a ruptured disc. That might need some type of medical surgery. You might have to, it depends. That pain usually doesn't go away, and no matter what position you get in, you can't get away from it because the liquid has leaked onto the nerve. Okay? When it's bone on bone, so basically a hard bone pinching a soft nerve, when it's bone on bone, sometimes you could lean in a certain position and give yourself some relief. If you can't get away from the pain, that's a little bit more of a serious condition, but only a doctor, okay, a medical doctor, chiropractor, can diagnose that and refer you for the proper tools for diagnosis, whether it's an MRI, an X-ray, a CAT scan, okay? But let's say you're not that bad. You just feel pain down the back of your leg. And sometimes it can be severe. One of the first things people do, by the way, and don't do this, is ignore it. It'll go away. I'll run through it. I'll do another 10 reps with my legs to push through it. You can turn what is just a pinched nerve into a ruptured disc. And I've seen that more times than I'd like to admit in 30 years. So be careful. That's number 1. Number 2, look at your activities. Let's say you're a runner and you have sciatica. If you continue to run into that misalignment, I don't know if you can see, you're actually pushing from the ground up that joint to get compressed. So while your muscles are loose and you're warmed up, you may think that your sciatica is gone, but I guarantee you're making it worse. Okay? So again, caution with running. If you have sciatica and you want to exercise and you get in a pool, if you should swim, if you do some stretching, that could be helpful. So sometimes the bones go out of place because of a bad position that you're in. You're sitting in a movie theater, you lift a box, a bad position, you lift it. Sometimes some muscle contraction actually pulls it out. The net result is that when you get the pain, things are misaligned and muscles are tight. Doesn't really matter which happened first. So let's talk about the muscles. The most common thing that people do when they have sciatica is to stretch over the leg, feeling that they're stretching where it's being pinched. I can understand why people think that, but I want you to think about something else. If your nerve is pinched here and you come forward, as you come forward, you're actually pulling it. It's squeezed. You're pulling it more. It's kind of like getting your finger caught in a door and pulling it out. So if that space, or in the term where the nerve comes out is called the foramen or foramina, okay, foramen. If the nerve is coming through there and it's clamped down on and you're pulling it, you actually can make the condition worse. So what stretches do? You want to stretch in front of and behind it. So I'm going to just give you some brief overviews of some stretches. Stretching this way, and there's videos all over my YouTube channel here for you to get into the details of this, stretches the muscles in the anterior or front of the pelvis. Why is that important? Well, if the pelvis is, the muscles in front are tight and pulling this way, it's pulling the sacrum into the nerve. So the more you loosen here, the more space you make for the sciatic nerve in the back. Okay? Also, stretching the muscle behind, so if this is your pelvis, behind is the piriformis. It runs right where your pants pocket would be under your gluteal muscle. You would stretch that by doing iliotibial stretches, like this. Again, refer back to some of my earlier videos. Then you're also making space for that nerve as it exits and goes down behind the pelvis. So instead of, I can understand why the layperson would think, I'll attack the pain and stretch this way. But actually what you want to do is you want to go in front of behind where the pain is. Okay? Interesting. Also, keep in mind, let's say you squat. Squat can open it up as well. Because again, here with my sciatic nerve, it's actually the nerve actually stretches a little bit. When I'm squatting like this, okay, I'm actually opening up space back here where the sciatic nerve exits. I'm opening up the joint, okay, where the sacrum and the hip or ilium meet. Okay, I'm opening up all the spaces, making more space without actually stretching that nerve. So again, what you don't want to do with stretching, if I put my foot on my dog's tail and pulled on that, it would hurt. Okay? That's what you're doing when you're stretching when the nerve is clamped down. So you want to think around it. You want to think in front of and behind it. So if you review my other videos, and the purpose of this video is not to spend a half hour showing you what to do. It's all here. There are 80 some odd videos. Squatting stretches, quadriceps stretches, iliotibial stretches, and groin stretches. So what you're doing is three-dimensionally, you're stretching the whole area where that nerve is being irritated. Okay? And don't do anything with any strain. Again, if you're not careful and not wise about your, I didn't call you stupid. Okay? If you're not wise about what you do, you're going to find that you could actually make yourself much worse by doing the wrong thing when you have sciatica. Okay, so be careful. Consult a professional if you're not sure what's going on. But when you have pain down, like by the way, when you have sciatica, it doesn't have to go all the way down the leg to be defined as sciatica. Some people can just have it in just the bottom of the foot. That's all it can be. Some people can have it in the calf. Some people can have it behind the leg. Sometimes it can miss a spot. It can go from the buttock, miss the hamstring, hit the calf. If you think about a town with phone lines. Do towns still have phone lines, or is everybody on digital these days? Imagine a town with phone lines and a telephone pole falls. Phone lines could be down 10 miles away and 6 miles away, but a mile away, the phones could still be working. It's all electrical communication. So some lines, if you will, may not be shut off that go to your hamstring, but maybe really bad where it goes to the calf. So sometimes sciatica gets misdiagnosed because people think, well, I just have a pulled calf muscle. I'm not saying you should run to the doctor every time, but every time you have an ache or a pain, but you want to know what you're experiencing. Over the years, I've gotten a lot of referrals from podiatrists, foot doctors. People came in because their feet were hurting them, and after the doctor did an exam on the foot, it wasn't the foot at all. It was actually coming from the back. Okay, so that's just a little overview on things you should and shouldn't do. Again, be careful with your exercise. You don't want to compact the nerve anymore. You don't want to push it if it hurts, to push through it. Number one way to really hurt yourself. And when you want to stretch, you don't want to attack the area directly. You want to go make a three-dimensional idea of your stretching. The buttocks, okay, the thighs, the groin, but not the sciatic nerve itself as you would do if you stretch this way. Okay, that's today's stretch from howtostretch.com.